Well, good evening, Star Wars fans. Today's topic is going to be 5 cards I wish were playable. I think, like everyone, when you're going through your collection, there's cards that I just love. I love the image, the character in most of what I'm going to show you this evening. Um, but they're just not playable. They're either too restrictive in what kind of decks they have to go in, or the deck that they do go in is naff, or just not playable. So, my 5 that I've picked out today, it was funny when I was thinking about this. I had sort of like more. I thought I would find more cards. Basically, is what I'm trying to say. Um, I actually found more on the light side. It was mainly characters, and on dark side there was just a lot. Um, and like some of the cards, they're not exactly bad. They're not like rubbish cards that you just don't want to play. They're good cards, but when you're building a deck, they're like the 60, probably fifth, or like the 70th card that you'd like to put in it. Um, and yeah, I just sometimes wish these cards were more playable. The first one that I'm going to show you this evening, that's a personal favorite. I was kind of hopeful that it was going to get more playable when we had the the Communing Yoda, and that's probably a huge clue. But the guy that I'm talking about is none other than Son of Skywalker. I mean, come on, look how cool that image is. I really wish this was playable. Um, One thing as well that I was digging around for is it better in white border? I think he is. I think the white border Dagobah stuff is awesome. The picture quality is just really cool, and the white background border makes it pop. So, um, but yeah, Son of Skywalker. I feel like in the whole Star Wars trilogy, this is like the pivotal moment because Luke goes from farm boy to Jedi almost, and it's while he's on Dagobah that he has to make that decision, doesn't he? Whether he stays, completes his training with Yoda, or if he's going to leave and save Han and Leia. Thankfully for Star Wars, he went and saved Han and Leia, and made an epic second half of The Empire Strikes Back. So I think with this card, for me, it ties everything together. Empire Strikes Back is by far the best Star Wars film. I will argue that till the day I die because it's got everything in it. Action, adventure, Jedi training. It's the first time you see like proper force powers where Yoda lifts the X-Wing out of the swamp. You've got a bounty hunter, the coolest bounty hunter in the galaxy. You've got Han getting frozen in carbonite. You've got a duel. What more could you want in a film? And this guy sums it up. So yeah, when we had Master Yoda, he had that text that said that Dagobah Luke was deploy -1, power +1, defense value +1. I was like, oh yes, we're gonna get a Son of Skywalker V at some point. Obviously that's not happened, and Yoda's been tweaked in the last V set 20 set, so he's not getting doesn't do the Luke thing anymore. But never mind. Hopefully we will get a V Son of Skywalker soon. When we did have the Yoda, I did try playing this Luke in a Cloud City deck because he deploys on Cloud City. He's not just stuck to Dagobah, and he pulls a lightsaber. So something I tried doing was pulling the I think it's like something gallery. It's the site that's 1 light side icon but 2 dark side, and characters armed with lightsabers are power +2. So slap this Luke there, and he was like power 8, defense value 7 with his lightsaber. Yeah. and he was technically immune nutrition less than 6 as well because of Yoda's hurt. The only problem was having him stuck at Cloud City was just not ideal. So, but yeah, so my absolute favorite card of Star Wars: Son of Skywalker. I love this card. I love the image. I just really wish he was playable. So that is card number 1. Moving along is a dark side card, and it's a starship. I think dark side at the moment have a real issue with space. If you're playing Star Destroyers, not a problem. They are, they're solid. And in most decks that you're going to play Star Destroyers, you've got a ton of Imperials that are also, either decent pilots or really high forfeit. So even if they're not immune to attrition, they are still you're not gonna get completely cleared out of space. But the rest of it's a bit like, there's nothing that's got a permanent pilot that's a decent ship. Obviously, you've got the Boba Fett in Slave One. There's the V and the non-V. I think it's a shame you can't put passengers in. I want to say the non-V, but also or maybe it's the V. I forget which way it is now, but one of them you can, one of them you can't. One of them, its stats are stupid. It's like high forfeit, high deploy, low forfeit. And then there's obviously Zuckuss and Misshunter, which he's a little bit hit and miss because even if they're not drawing a destiny, usually you just get outpowered anyway. So dark side really struggle in space, whereas at least for light side, Han Chewie and the Falcon it's nuts. Power 8 plus a power destiny plus battle destiny, immune nutrition less than 5, and it's got 2 passenger slots. It's nuts. You throw like Leia on there, Padme, and any Skywalker, super solid. Seem to put like Maz on it, and it's essentially immune nutrition less than 6, or Ahsoka. So it's super like, what's the word? It just goes in everything. It's cheap to deploy. It's got a puller that's a Destiny 4 used interrupt, which is pretty cool. So Darkseid hasn't got anything. So my next card number 5, is the one and only Death Star Assault Squadron. Again, I love this image. It's so cool, and it's that like super cool moment in the film, isn't it, where Vader's like, "Come with me," to his 2 cronies, the DSs, and it's that cool scene, isn't it? He's chasing Luke down the trench. He takes out the other X-wing and Y-wing that are helping him, like with no issues, and it's like, I'll take the leader. And yeah, I just think this would make an absolutely epic, splashable dark side permanent pilot ship. I think it's a decent card to be made a V card because it's got Vader in it. So you are technically losing, a really good. Hey, Kendall, you made it. I was just waffling while I was waiting to see if anyone else was here. But yeah, I just talking about the Death Star Assault Squadron. That this is an awesome card, and it would make a brilliant V card, because we haven't got a decent splashable dark side space, and yeah, I think losing Vader it's okay for dark side. I think it deploys for 12, which is a little bit insane. Maybe that could be reduced. But I just would like to see this on the table. I think it's such a brilliant, splashable, a mint picture. It was. It was cool, yeah. Um, it's probably a card that's not hard to get hold of. I doubt it. Maybe if it was made of V, the price would rocket up maybe, and that would make the difference. Um, but yeah, I think it would it would fill a lot of holes for Darkseid. Um, so that is a card I would like to see made a V card. Um, moving on, my next card that I would like to see be able to be more playable. It's a light side character. I've always loved this card, and it's another special edition one. My favorite character of all time, Obi-Wan Kenobi, Old Ben. Um, if you're playing a Tatooine deck, this guy is mint. I think in Profit is probably his best spot. Um, Trying to save Han is awesome. And something I totally didn't realize that you can do with this guy is I was playing Darkseid and I clashed Ben in a battle, killed Han, and then at the end of the battle, when Ben killed Han, who went lost, then at the end of the battle, when Obi-Wan came back, he brought Han back as well. So his text still worked, which that's like super strong, I think. That's mint. Um, but again, I just think Obi-Wan Kenobi, he's a pivotal character in Star Wars, in Luke's journey to becoming a Jedi. I think this is a really cool image of him. And again, I would like to see a Tatooine themed deck where he would fit in nicely to it. So that is card number 3 of my 5 that I would like to see more play. The next 2, I feel like they kind of will go together. You'll see what I mean when I talk about the last one in a minute. But number 4 is a dark side card that it only goes in one deck at the moment, and in that deck it never gets played, and that is Epic Duel. I think it's a shame we don't have more dueling in Star Wars. It's the kind of it's what Star Wars is about for me. Jedi just fighting each other with lightsabers, and it's a shame that this epic duel doesn't get played in Hunt Down. It's I know people do try it, but it takes way too many cards by the time you've packed your deck with epic duel, Vader's Obsession, Circle, and the fact that you can only go after Obi-Wan and Luke is just redundant in today's Star Wars. Obviously, people do play Luke and Ben, but they're not nearly as prolific as other Jedi. So I think Epic Duel, allowing Vader to duel any Jedi, would be really, really cool and super fun. That would be cool as well. Yes. It would be cool if you could cross characters backwards and forwards without it being a game-ending mechanic. I always think that's a shame when you cross like Luke or Leia or Vader, and then you don't get to use them in Take or Bring Him. Yeah, it would be awesome if you could move Vader around once you've crossed him and just have him beating up the other Imperials and stuff. I was kind of hopeful when the Hunt Down V came out and people were talking about it that Epic Duel would potentially find its way into that deck. Obviously, it didn't. And Hunt Down V for me just doesn't feel very thematic for Vader. It does kind of go with the cartoons, I guess, that Vader stays in his castle, the Inquisitors go out and find the Jedi. But Vader in the comics went out himself and took out all the Jedi. So I think we need an epic duel hunt down deck that allows Vader to just go around killing Jedi, basically. And it would be fun. I think especially decks that are out now with communing. We do see like loads of Jedi getting played. Mace, Kit Fisto. Um, oh man, I'm blanking. Yoda, Qui Gon, and I think it would be cool. Kanan and Ahsoka. So yeah, so it would be ace if Vader could just move around somehow and epic duel them to get rid of them. So that was card number 4. Number 5 goes with epic duel if you are doing it, but also I think it's a shame, not a shame, but uh, Mara Jade. I do love it that we play with Mara Jade. This is one of the best images that we've got of Star Wars. Um, it just looks sick, and why I'm always disappointed, not disappointed, but want to put this in not as a V card is because she's a spy. Um, and again, if she could, or if Epic Duel was better somehow, she can be targeted by it, so she could go out and hunt at least Luke. I think would be cool. Um, and she pulls a weapon, so you could use her lightsaber. Um, but yeah, again, Mara Jade, I'm always tempted to put her in a deck because she could go to like the Boss Nash Chambers or to the JCC and just sit there. She's immune nutrition less than 4, so she's got reasonable immunity, and she's power +2 if the Emperor's on table. So if you're playing her in like Bring Him or a Hunt Down deck, she's a power 6, ability 5 character that has got pretty good deploy forfeit 5 and 7. And yeah, I think it's a shame that she doesn't get more play being a spy. And I did have the other one here somewhere. There she is. So yeah, so it's a toss up between with a saber or without a saber. What do you reckon, Kendall? Are you a with or a without fan? Um, is the saber worth being a spy? I guess is the question. Yeah, I think most people do, to be honest. Only it's that's true. Me too. I was playing. Hey, Mr. Adam Fletcher, Echo Base Trooper himself. Thanks for joining us. Right, oh no. Whoops. Yeah, how many times have people done that where you've built a deck and you've put the wrong flipping card in? Yeah, I tried that too. I've tried it in court. Well, not a court deck, but using court as the like the base, and then pulling her with the audience chamber, and then she gets a weapon. It's just not that good. It's the only problem. I tried it with. I'd pull Mara, put a gun on her, and then I used the Death Star reactor console thing to pull the what's it called? The sniper rifle attachmenty thing, so she could shoot at sites adjacent. But yeah, it just flopped completely. Blaster scope, that's the one. So I was going to ask, are there any cards that you guys like that don't see much play? Also, while you're thinking, congrats, Kendall, on winning another content creator award this week. That was very cool. All right then, guys. Oh yeah, that would be cool. I seen them. This was ages ago, but I think someone played it with Ancient Watering Hole, and they used those sites with loads of aliens because you can drain for like 2 or 3 at each one. Um, you just got to try and satisfy what's it called, coward somehow. But EBO, I guess, doesn't really have a problem doing that in space. Um, so I dug out some cards to give away for people who listen this evening. I'm wondering if you guys have already got these ones, probably. But I've got 2 starships. I got a Conquest and a Layers Resistance Transport. And I've also got 3 of this year's OCS cards, which are the Death Star, Anakin's Lightsaber, and Plo Koon. I'm not sure if you guys are interested in these at all, or if you've got them already. No problem. Do you keep a big collection at all, Adam, or are you one of the type of players that just borrows cards for events? Fair enough. I don't play live events very often either, sadly. I'd love to play more of them, but just can't bring myself to like get rid of my collection. Oh, what a shame. Well, I kind of feel like that's what happened over here to me. It was kind of the ones that used to play all kind of had their own thing, got old, went to college, stopped playing. So that's why I was super happy to find that Gent was still around. So I could still play Star Wars, which was great. But yeah, recently as well, in the last couple of years, that Kev obviously still has some events at his place, not too far from me, which is cool. I just wish we had them more regularly. It's kind of like I'm super jealous of Kendall because I'm sure, didn't he say he's up to like 20 live events this year or something, which is nuts. Um, so I'm at the half an hour mark, which was my aim for this evening. I think I've waffled on about some cards for long enough. I just would like to say thank you very much for tuning in and listen to me waffle and talk about some Star Wars cards. And hopefully, I'm gonna try and do these maybe once a month and try and get the European players maybe at a bit of a later time, so that more people will have a chance to come on and chat. But in the meantime, I just want to say thanks for you guys tuning in and listening and for your comments. And take care of yourselves. And hopefully, I'll speak to you guys soon. Take care of yourselves. Bye.